So Luxembourg-Casco moved from 2 to 1, and Coleman and Fenimore moved from Division 3 to Division 2. So, that's just different thinking because we're used to having these teams in those other divisions. So,
Bozile, a state finalist last year. Ryan loses 3-2 to a Luxembourg-Casco wrestler, Caleb Delabrew.
Delabrew had the match of his life in that. We watched that match. Delabrew wrestled out of his mind. No one would have predicted that he could have beat Bozile nor gotten into the finals at state. Delabrew just wrestled out of his mind at state last year. Very, very impressive and earned his state title.
Turned it on at the right time, right?
Absolutely. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't a great wrestler. He absolutely was. But Delabrew just really, really had a great postseason.
And Blakelee Bastien last year, we just saw him, lost to Ethan Immel in the quarterfinals, wrestled all the way back for 5th place, beating Drake Ingham of Prairie du Chien. Blakelee Bastien's one of those kids. I got to watch him at the King of the North in, October. And he's kind of got that little funky style to him, right? He's a little unorthodox, but just never gets rattled, just keeps wrestling and stays in matches.
He's strong. He's all in on wrestling. This kid lives his life for wrestling. My son Cole, when my son Cole was wrestling, he's now a freshman at Madison, but when he was wrestling, would wrestle Blakelee just about every time at Askren Academy. Those guys were workout partners, and so got to know Blakelee pretty well. Blakelee, just a really neat kid, just a very nice guy. He is running a whizzer for the life of him. And he's going to lose that to Bozile, and Bozile's going to get that first takedown. So Blakelee hung on that whizzer forever, and pretty soon just wasn't there anymore.
I talked to Blakelee a little bit after, and his parents after the King of the North, and I could definitely tell if he's not the valedictorian of the class, he's definitely pretty high up there. Real smart kid. He was talking about a higher level of thought than I was able to comprehend. So
yeah, I've had some great conversations with him over the years.
I could tell in the conversation that I was outgunned, and I just nodded my head and smiled and said, all right.
I'm sure, Luxembourg-Casco with a younger team this year, I'm sure Blakelee is stepping up to be one of those leaders for the team as a senior, and here he sits in the finals with Bozile. Great opportunity for him to try to go get a win against an excellent wrestler.
Right on.
And Bozile leads this match as we finish the first period. It's 3-0.
Bastien in the semifinals had a fall against a school we haven't talked a lot about today, but Cade Kruger from Escanaba.
Yeah, that's a long-time school that comes down to this tournament. Love having Escanaba here. It's just a way to say, hey, there's something about having a team here from Northern Michigan, and Escanaba always brings a really eclectic group of wrestlers. And
yeah,
I mean that respectfully.
Sure.
They have some really different kind of talent, and you never know what you're going to get from their wrestlers. It's kind of fun to watch them.
In the preview show, Ryan thought, he wasn't sure, but he thought that maybe they were here since the start of it.
Maybe. I don't know that for a fact, obviously, but maybe.
The smart guy over there gave the nod of assurance that it was. So I'm going to go with him.
Love it.
But Bozile had a tech fall, and a decision over Alan Neuville of De Pere to get to the finals.
And so we're still 3-0 in the second period as Bozile gets in on an outside single with Blakelee. Blakelee Bastien's going to work that whizzer again. And what Blakelee's going to need to do is plant that foot in the mat and come up with that whizzer. He's fighting from a really a deficit position with his leg up. And that is not going to work out well for him as Bozile's going to come through the middle here.
Nice catch, reaching up, catching that arm. I'm surprised Blakelee took neutral to start the second.
Referee's going to stop us. We've got blood time green. So Bozile will take some blood time.
Yeah, that's a good. I was thinking that was a pretty quick stalemate call. Didn't realize there was blood.
Yeah, I thought the same. I wondered why he was calling a stalemate at that point when Bozile looked to be scoring. But if there's blood, they have to stop it.
Right on.
As you know, the part of this sport is that there's going to be blood at times, and that's just part of what we do. Wrestlers get up to 5 minutes to be able to take care of any blood issues. And the only time that the blood clock is running is when there's actually blood flowing. When they get the blood stopped, then the refs will stop that, and then it's time for cleanup. So Bozile's clock has already been turned off. 5 minutes, for you to reach 5 minutes of blood time and have to be disqualified is nearly impossible in this sport, which is the right thing to do.
I've seen it twice.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen twice. You ever seen it happen?
No. but we were this close with my son Cole.
Gotcha.
Cole was a bleeder, and we finally got his nose cauterized before his senior year, and that helped a lot. So 3-0 here at Bozile. 1 minute to go in the second period. We are still neutral with Bozile and Bastien. Bozile in on the outside single. And you're seeing Blakelee get those hips down tight, trying to keep Bozile from popping up, which he does.
O'Connell Falls coached by Matt Morrissey. I believe this is his first year. They had a change of coaches in the offseason.
O'Connell Falls' program in general down a little bit over the last few years. They're coming off the Whiting era where they had Clayton Whiting, a 4-time champion, and that has kind of dissipated a little bit, but they've got Bozile, and he is excellent. Blakelee kicking off the single leg here, and no takedown for Bozile. We'll go stalemate. 11 seconds to go in this first period. Bozile has been the aggressor the entire match. I don't think I've seen Blakelee take a shot yet.
No. Coach Chad Tremmel, Luxembourg Casco, a little bit distraught at the early stalemate call. Felt like his guy was still in a position where he could take advantage of it. But that's also Blakelee's style, right? Getting those unorthodox scramble positions and see what you can do.
Interesting enough, he chose neutral. Did no score happen from that at all. It's almost the same as getting ridden out. You know, you can't have a 3-0 deficit and not get that takedown when you choose neutral. So Bozile takes bottom as we head into this third period. And he's trying to work a switch. Blakelee reaching across, grabbing the thigh. And now he'll throw the leg in.
For Blakelee, I wonder, are you going to commit to the ride and try to get some turns, or are you going to go a couple takedowns? I don't know if you can go takedowns because you've already been there for quite some time.
Yeah, I think
really
you got to see what you can do on top, for at least for a little bit here. He's getting high, though. And Bozile trying to come out the back door, and he's going to be able to do that here.
Ooh, that looks like
Blakelee in a bad place.
Good call.
Referee's going to stop it.
Well, that was the right call. That arm was not in a good position.
O'Connell Falls coach is not excited about that call, but they get it.
Nope, yep.
We just don't need to have positions where kids are going to get hurt. And referees know better, and they'll stop it.
Yeah, I tell you what, I've stopped matches, and I just say, I don't like it. that's all that I got to say.
Blakelee kind of lets him go, but there was no points awarded for that. There's the escape. Now there's an escape. Blakelee going to work a front headlock. He's shucked by, not there.
O'Connell Falls wrestler was defensible, so the ref gave him the one. Nice.
Beautiful outside shot. The only thing I'm seeing about Bozile is he's taking these beautiful shots, just not coming up with them. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Right.
Blakelee Bastien's got some of the best hips in the sport,
and
they are heavy.
Being able to do the splits right there is impressive.
Yeah, we'll get a stalemate. So it's still 4-0. Bozile is leading here with 40 seconds to go in the third period. And Blakelee Bastien is going to have to get on his offense if he has any chance of beating the returning state runner-up. And, of course, Bozile gets in on the shot. And Bozile trying to come up the middle. Blakelee holding on tight. We got 15 seconds to go. As we're finishing this up, I'll give a quick shout out to Tyler Bix. He's watching tonight. He says happy holidays to me and to all of us here. So thank you, Tyler. Love having you watch our sports and tune in all the time. As Bozile will get his championship here at 144 pounds at the Battle on the Bay. And congratulations to Cole Bozile on a job well done at 144 pounds. He takes out Blakelee Bastien 4-0. We said it was going to be a good match. It was a good match.
You know what? It was a low-scoring affair. It felt like there was more points scored in that one. But just two wrestlers, I think, that know each other very well. All right, let's be real.
Yeah, both seniors.
I was going to say they're pretty close to each other, but on